Imagine a time when the Mediterranean was the center of the world, where empires clashed and one man's name sent shivers down the spine of Rome itself. This is the story of Hannibal Barca, the Carthaginian general whose brilliance on the battlefield defied the odds and earned him a place among history's greatest military minds. Let's dive into his life, his triumphs, and his ultimate downfall. Hannibal Barca was born in 247 before Christ in Carthage, a powerful city-state in North Africa, in what is now modern-day Tunisia. His father, Hannibal Barca, was a distinguished general who led Carthaginian forces during the First Punic War against Rome. After Carthage's defeat, Hannibal sought to rebuild Carthaginian power by expanding into Spain. Legend has it that before embarking on his campaigns, Hannibal made the young Hannibal swear an oath, one that would define his entire life, to remain Rome's eternal enemy. Whether the story is true or not, there is no doubt that Hannibal inherited his father's ambition and deep-seated resentment toward Rome. By the age of 26, Hannibal had taken command of the Carthaginian army in Spain after the sudden assassination of his brother-in-law and predecessor, Hasdrubal the Fair. He quickly proved himself to be a brilliant strategist and charismatic leader, securing Carthaginian control over the Iberian Peninsula. But Hannibal knew that true victory lay not in defense, but in striking at the heart of Rome itself. In 218 before Christ, the Second Punic War erupted, and Hannibal launched one of the most daring military campaigns in history. Instead of attacking Rome by sea, as expected, he did the unthinkable. He led an army of nearly 100,000 men, including 12,000 cavalry and around 37 war elephants, on an arduous march across the Pyrenees, through Gaul, and over the treacherous Alps in the dead of winter. The journey was brutal. Thousands of men perished from exposure, starvation, and attacks by hostile mountain tribes. By the time Hannibal descended into northern Italy, he had lost nearly half of his forces. But what remained was a battle-hardened army, and Hannibal was ready to strike. And strike he did. Over the next few years, Hannibal delivered Rome a series of humiliating defeats. At the Battle of the Trebia in 218 before Christ, he lured the Roman army into an ambush, using the freezing waters of the Trebia River to weaken them before his cavalry crushed their flanks. The following year, at Lake Trasimene, he executed another masterstroke. Hiding his forces in the hills surrounding the narrow pass, he waited until the Roman army was trapped along the lakeshore before launching a devastating surprise attack, annihilating an entire Roman force of nearly 15,000 men. But his greatest victory came in 216 before Christ at the Battle of Cannae. Facing a Roman army of nearly 86,000 men, Hannibal, despite being outnumbered, used an ingenious double envelopment maneuver to encircle and systematically slaughter the Romans. It was one of the worst defeats in Rome's history, with over 50,000 Roman soldiers killed in a single day. The battlefield was said to be so drenched in blood that the Romans could not even count their dead. Rome was on the brink of collapse. Cities in Italy began defecting to Hannibal, and even some of Rome's allies wavered. Yet, despite these staggering victories, Hannibal faced one insurmountable challenge. He lacked reinforcements. Carthage's government, cautious and politically divided, refused to fully support him. Meanwhile, Rome adapted. Instead of engaging Hannibal in open battle, the Roman general Fabius Maximus employed a strategy of attrition, avoiding direct confrontation and starving Hannibal's forces of supplies and reinforcements. For over a decade, Hannibal remained in Italy, undefeated but unable to capture Rome itself. In the meantime, Rome waged war on other fronts. A brilliant young general named Publius Cornelius Scipio, later known as Scipio Africanus, took the fight to Carthaginian territories in Spain, cutting off Hannibal's supply lines. By 204 before Christ, Rome had turned the tide. Scipio invaded North Africa, forcing Carthage to recall Hannibal from Italy to defend his homeland. The two legendary generals met at the Battle of Zama, Hannibal's final stand. But this time, Rome had learned from its mistakes. Scipio had studied Hannibal's tactics and countered them effectively. The Roman cavalry, led by Massinissa, a former Numidian ally of Carthage who had defected to Rome, played a crucial role in routing Hannibal's forces. Carthage was decisively defeated, marking the end of the Second Punic War and the rise of Rome as the dominant Mediterranean power. After the war, Hannibal briefly served as a statesman in Carthage, attempting to reform its corrupt government. But Rome, fearing his influence, demanded his exile. For years, Hannibal wandered from kingdom to kingdom, offering his military expertise to enemies of Rome, such as the Seleucid Empire. But Rome never forgot him. As Roman pressure mounted, Hannibal was relentlessly pursued. Finally, in 183 before Christ, cornered by Roman agents in the court of King Prusias of Bithynia, Hannibal chose death over capture. He took poison, supposedly hidden in a ring he always carried, ending the life of one of history's greatest military commanders. Hannibal Barca's legacy endures as a symbol of resilience, tactical brilliance, and the relentless pursuit of an impossible dream. Though he never conquered Rome, his name remains legendary. His strategies continue to be studied, his battles remain unparalleled, and his story serves as a testament to the power of ingenuity and determination. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this glimpse into the life of Hannibal Barca, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe for more epic tales from history. Until next time, stay curious.